very good afternoon to you, and thanks for joining us on our program, Africa Discourse on Independent Television. We want to sincerely apologize for bringing this program behind schedule today. It was due to some unforeseen circumstances. My name is Evan Sunokoge. You're welcome to the show. Well, it is no gainsaying anymore that Nigeria is on the verge of doing many things right. And of course, as a matter of fact, one of the ways of trying to get things right now is to start on the education front. Well, we understand that about 2 weeks ago, some certificates were said to be on investigative mood now, if you like, going by the journalists that went on that cover. And of course, they went to one of these neighboring countries, to be precise, Republic of Benin. And on that 2 months, he said that he did a degree program, and of course, he was certified. And after that certification, he took the certification for NYC, and he was called up for national service. Now, the big question is, how did that come through? And of course, another bigger question is, if not for the efforts of the journalists that went on that cover, who would have discovered the kind of tertiary certificates that come outside the country? We're going to be looking at all this today on the program Africa Discourse, because on this show, we look at issues on the continent of Africa. And of course, you know that Nigeria as a nation, big nation in Africa, we must talk about all this as we get along. Well, to discuss all this afternoon, we're so privileged to have a professor of technical education. I'm talking about Professor Victor Igbenedion. He is a professor of technical education with the University of Benin. So welcome to this program, Africa Discourse.
Good afternoon.
Okay. All right, so let's look at it now. Because I remember we all went to tertiary education, tertiary institution, and the shortest possible time you can get is 4 years for you to own a degree. But a situation whereby somebody said that under 2 years, under a few months now, he was able to get a university certification, and as if that was not enough, he also went for NYSC and all that. Now, what does it, pertain for Nigeria in terms of the kind of qualification that we receive outside of the country? Let's start from there.
Okay, just a little bit corrigendum. I am a professor of business education, but from the Department of Vocational Technical Education. So your question, the issue is very scandalous. The development is very scandalous. It's not as if we don't know the rot in the education sector. The problem is that when the education sector is rotten, every other thing will go bad. And that's the situation we have found ourselves. There's what they call diploma disease. Everybody is rushing for degree, going to get degree. And the thing has permeated the whole levels of tertiary institutions. And stages, not only just first degree, master's degree, and doctorate degrees. Majority of them are compromised. That goes to tell us that something is fundamentally wrong with our educational system. In the sense that the value system, the value we place on education is not it at all. We just believe in certification. So people take advantage of it. You see, there are colleges of education, there are polytechnics, there are universities. These things are carved out specifically. Not too long ago, the polytechnics are angling to be given degrees and all that one. Now, who are the manpower in these institutions that want to give degrees? So it brings to question what we are doing with our education system, especially at the tertiary level. It's not enough. That's why we have this quagmire that we are in the country. You see a graduate cannot string a sentence together. Whether from Cotonou or from Nigeria, majority, high percentage of them, they don't. They dress They put phone in their ears. They are always fixing their eyes on the phone 24/7. If you see what they write, majority of them, you will be shocked. Let's not even go to Cotonou, okay? So there's a big problem. It's a huge problem for the country. Not too long ago, a probe opened up to say that there are people abroad, but they are getting degrees in an institution in Edo State, a university in Edo State here. You see, all these things they are mind-blowing and very frustrating for somebody who knows what to do. So it's something that I like the way, the quick response that the government has taken about it.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Now, before we proceed, now you said that polytechnics now that they are giving out degrees.
I said they are angling for
to begin out degrees at the expense of insufficient manpower. Now, you are a university lecturer in University of Benin. Now, the big question is, what gives the qualification at the end of the day? Is it not the fact that a student having found to have completed a certain course, or the fact that maybe because the university has the enough manpower that makes that student to want to get that certification at the end of the day? Because we all went to tertiary institutions. I mean, you go through a course of a period of at least 4 years, irrespective of whether you have 100 lecturers or you have 50 lecturers.
You see, we are talking about quality control here now. If you see the situation after the strike, the situation that we are going through, where you have to run 2 sessions, or almost 3 sessions in 1 session, do you think that the quality will be the same? It cannot be the same. And everybody is stressed up. Everybody, you are teaching from 1 session to the other within a session. Students are being admitted. You just teach for a few weeks. They say exam has come. And you think that the same quality that you enjoyed when you have to teach, they have to teach you for 15 weeks or 13 weeks or 12 weeks, it will be the same. It's not the same. The quality is different. Can't you see? I'll be listening to news. Everybody, we are paying attention to paper qualification. Even in these houses, television houses, media houses, they are supposed to be teaching them. It's not a matter of just you bring qualification, you have a first degree, and they say, okay, come and be reading news. And when you are hearing some of the news, you feel bad if you have been well taught.
Well, media, like our own station here, we go through a series of training.
But if they were not fundamentally prepared to adjust, you see, they make mistakes, and they don't even have any qualms about it. We are the one hearing you from outside. I was hearing yesterday a boat capsided, and nothing. It goes day in, day out. They just speak like that.
Now, what does it portend for Nigeria? Because if not for the efforts of the journalist that went undercover, because he was surprised that after just a few months he could get a degree and he could want to go for NYC certificates, service and all that. Now, what does it portend for Nigeria that if not for the efforts of that journalist, Nigeria probably, because it looks as if we have a lot of people, a lot of graduates that may have gone through universities under 2 months and they also certification. So what does it portend for the country?
It's very dangerous. These people, they find their ways in very crucial positions where they take decisions that will affect everybody. It's a one bad apple can spoil everything.
Okay, let's quickly take a short pause now so that we can bring you some major headlines as we get along on the program. Don't forget the program is Africa Discourse on independent television. We are looking at the recent developments whereby a certain journalist went on that cover and is asking questions, and Nigerian authority is also asking questions now on the certificates that are gotten from outside the country. We understand that so far a total of about 15 African countries are on the list, whereby the Federal Minister of Foreign Affairs in conjunction with Federal Minister of Education is trying to investigate certificates that are doled out from these countries. We'll quickly be right back after this time. Please stay tuned. All right, thank you so much. The program still African Discourse on Independent Television here in Benin City. And we still have Professor Victor Igbenegno, Professor of Business Education with the Department of Vocational and Technical Education, University of Benin. Now, Professor, we understand that the Nigerian Authority has given a mandate to the Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs and, of course, the Federal Ministry of Education to carry out an investigation. And a total number of about 18 countries have been listed that universities from these countries are going to be vetted. The qualification from these universities are going to be vetted. Now, the question that we ask, to what extent can Nigeria as a country, to what extent can we really get the holders, the beneficiaries of these certificates from, take for example, a lot of persons that have graduated from certain schools from Benin Republic, from Togo, from Kenya, and of course from other West African countries. To what extent can we get them? I mean, they are everywhere. They parade the certificates everywhere. Some of them are even said to be holding a position of high authority. And we understand that the last investigation now is that most of them are in the National Assembly. You know, maybe they may have backed a master's degree qualification from some of these universities and all that. So if we have that situation now, are you looking at Nigeria really going on the verge of really carrying out an investigation on this matter?
It's going to be a very difficult, it's a tall order to be done because, as you have just said, some of them are occupying very influential positions, and they are likely to compromise the investigation by flexing their muscles. So imagine somebody in the National Assembly. It is difficult. But the government has to have the willpower to do so. They must have the willpower. When people, you see, there are people working in this organization now, making things to happen. And they went through training, not with fat degrees, so that they can come on the top. They are the general manager, they are this and that. They are what the value we need in this system is, can you do this thing? Not just you are flinging, you have PhD, you have this one, you have that one. And that's the mentality of the Nigerian now. And that's why the country is where we are today. If you don't reward these people who carry on, and that's what happens abroad. These Chinese that are here, how many of them have degrees or masters or whatever it is?
So you mean the madness or the craziness for tertiary education,
yes.
certification?
That is the problem. And we don't need it. If you have a good first degree or HND, you can excel as long as you are well motivated.
Yeah, first degree is also a university certification.
Yes, as a good certification, good first degree. Not even 2-1 or whatever it is they call it. All of them are manipulated. What we see. I'm an insider. It's unfortunate I'm talking like this. So if the system, everything is compromised in Nigerian system. I went to a polytechnical. We were well drilled. No? So it is always good that the people must be given value, education. People, when you train people, they will get the value. It's not looking for whom to compromise all over the place. So people must be ready to face the challenge of how to uproot all these people. They are interlopers. They are not supposed to be in position they are occupying. Whereas somebody who has laboriously gone through the 4 years of first degree is sidelined and is brought because maybe he has money. His father has money and influence. And they put them in these positions. They are ruining the system. So the government must have the courage. Wherever they are, they must bring them down. So that the younger ones that are coming, they will now know that crime does not pay. They get to know, and they will now be running away. I cite an instance. You know, fraud has always been there. Human beings are, but the magnitude is very high now. And you know everybody is going to the university. It is as if it's the haymaker.
We understand that because I don't know, I think it's only in Nigeria universities that you don't have crash programs. You know, I've not heard of them in Nigerian universities. Outside, you know, the country, those that go to universities in the Western world, in Europe and all that, you hear of crash programs, a station whereby a 4 years course, you do it within 1 year, 6 months, 1 year, 8 months, or even 2 years. Now, for a lot of persons, you know, trying to, you know, see that education is really revamped in Africa, they are calling for the total scrapping of these crashed programs because for them, the university education is not something that should be done in a hurry. Is a course, you know, program. I mean, you're a lecturer.
Yes, now, yes.
What I'm talking about.
You can see my emotions. You can see my emotions.
So if we have a situation whereby we don't have crash programs in our universities, or maybe we don't try to encourage Africans, Nigerians going outside the shores of Africa to bring qualifications from Western world that are obtained, you know, with crash programs. Do you think education in Africa can really be revamped in that way?
It can, to some extent. I tell you something. At the Faculty of Education in Uniben, you know, they have direct entry. People who read NCE. And they'll say, okay, people who read NCE, they have credit, they have distinction, they should start at 300 level. It had to be stopped one way or the other. They're all starting from 200 level now. You don't know what goes inside that credit or distinction that they are bringing in.
Yeah, well, but what about someone that has done, because NC takes about 3 years.
Yes.
Then the person comes with NC, then you still tell the person to start from 200
level, yes.
So at the end of the day, the person is going to be doing like 5 years, 6 years, 4 years.
4 years, 4 years, it's okay. Or 3 years, 3 years. 200, 300, 400, 3 years, that's okay. The person will be properly groomed. Because even the NCE that the person is bringing in, do you know to the extent to which it's compromised? You may not even understand the extent the damage has been done to Nigerian education system. And that's what we are seeing all over the place. The mentality is how to grab, how to grab, how to grab. Now, the young lecturers that have graduated from the system, they are inside the system. So a lot of compromises are going on. So how they can make money, how they can buy Jeep, how they can make so much money, you know. So that's their concern. It's not the knowledge.
Now,
you pay me.
Let's look at it one more time, because when I heard that people leave the shores of Nigeria, they want to go to Benin Republic, they want to go to Togo, they want to go to Kenya, they want to go to Democratic Republic of Congo to obtain a tertiary education. Little wonder, because for me, I'm not saying this because I'm a Nigerian, but I think perhaps the quality of education that we have in Nigeria here is somehow more than what they give in these countries. That's the way I look at it.
Yes.
Now, but let's look at it from the other way around. What do you think is really making Nigerians to want to leave this country to settle for tertiary education in neighboring African countries?
It's the easy way. It's easier. First of all, some of these parents, they have money, they are rich, and they want to get this thing for their children fast. Children who ordinarily will not be able to pass JAMB here, and they are given automatic admission there. You pay big money, millions, and you get it. We were just discussing a while ago. If you go through the crucible, you really spend 4 years or 3 years in university, properly, you will be different. There's no doubt about it. You will be different. I'm just saying, is it that I was marking some scripts for PhD the other day. I ran to my head of department's office and said, do you see what I am seeing? I was almost going crazy. They will look at you. So
well, these PhD students, they are from the same university.
What?
But does it mean that the lecturers are not teaching them well? Yeah, because that's the way some people look
yes, now we are not teaching them well to a large extent.
So who
you want to teach them? You have to hold your head very, very, very tentatively, very, very tenderly.
You mean it's difficult teaching them?
You will do your own part. What of the other person? They paint you black. Say you are very strict, you are very doing this one. But me, I will not allow my children to go through the system, that kind of system. One reverend was telling me, he said, all this, their pastoral school they go to where they don't fail. He said, me, I won't go to that school. A school that people don't fail. And you see, the whole thing is all over. In the churches, all over the place. The quest for quick money. Money. And you now plant all these people here in positions. They will ruin the system. I just pray that authority will take very drastic step about it. Filter them out. Even if they are members of House of Assembly or National Assembly or senators, whatever they call themselves, and they are fingered and it is confirmed that they obtained these degrees. Put them in jail.
But what about if they can really withstand, what they claim to have? I mean, if they have that knowledge.
What kind of knowledge? Well, once it is compromised, it's compromised. Did they go through a normal system? A journalist now, why is he coming to shout? The undercover journalist. Does he not have the degree? But he's saying that he's fraud. So it's not a matter of if they can. See, before, people will just have ordinary diploma, and when they are speaking, when they write, you will respect them. When they are writing, they are writing as if they are sending a GSM message, this and that. I mean, I'm just telling you now, my own experience. You will hold your head when people are writing. They can't string any sentence together. If you went to good school and you are performing, just thank your God. Oh. What we are seeing is horrible. It's horrible.
All right, let's stretch it further because the undercover journalist also faulted the National Youth Service Corps. That, as a matter of fact, he applied to serve the nation. And of course, he was given a call-up letter. That was where he now had to, make a kind of a shout out. I mean, for him, the NYSC would have looked at the year of entry. I mean, somebody bringing a certification on that 2 months or thereabout, then you are granting that person a call-up letter and all that. Now, let's look at some of these agencies. They are part of education agencies in the country now. Let's look at them. Perhaps it is not really the Federal Minister of Education that should go about this sanitation that we're talking about in our education in Nigeria.
The first port of call is the Federal Minister of Education. They have accreditation. They have a team that accredits certificates coming from abroad. I remember my junior sister, they went to US. Within a few years, she brought diploma. He thought the girl has graduated, has a first degree.
No, what do they look at when they are doing their application?
It's evaluation. They have a way of evaluating.
What do they evaluate? They evaluate the fact that, okay, the person actually was admitted, the person sat for exams, and of course the person passed the exam. Is that what they only evaluate?
There are standard procedures, which I don't have on my fingertips now. Standard procedures. But again, you know that Nigeria, anything can be compromised. Anything can be compromised. Okay, the universities, they go to accreditation all over the place. When people get there, they will be hesitating. Do we say that these people, they can't get accreditation or get accreditation? It's very sickening. You cannot be bold to say this is what is right to do. And so the whole thing is pervading all the system. And once you get the education wrong, it's going to affect every other system. The doctors will not do well. Everybody will just be managing. And the system, everybody is shouting, economy, this. Who are the managers of the economy? Are they grounded? Let me tell you something. Those people will not get the good ones. They are still good ones, so they can't get the job. And we'll just be wallowing in ignorance, pretending, carrying all the people along.
So now that we have members of the National Assembly that are also fingered now, so little wonder whether we'll really have...
That's what I was saying earlier. Can they now get to the bottom of the matter? There have been probes before now. They will be swept under the carpet. You say, I don't want to upset the apple cart. I'm not the one that started the whole thing. So they leave it there. When I finish, maybe. But when they finish, they go away. So my own suggestion is that we must have courage to do what is right at our own level, individually. See, all this money factor, I was telling them, it will go. If you buy a new car, in 2, 3, 4 years, it will be old. You build a fantastic house, it will be old. We all die one day and leave all these things.
But don't you also think that perhaps Nigeria as a country, we need to change our value system?
That's what I've been emphasizing.
Yeah, because it's the value system seems to be more on paper qualification.
Exactly.
Not until you bring some certification that you are qualified, you'll not be looked into.
No.
So don't you think we need to maybe shift our attention from more paper qualification now to competence? You know, somebody said it has to do with competence with what you can do with
exactly. That, and they marked this vocational education, vocational and technical education, training, TVE, they just marked it. Well, if you give incentive to people, I see technologists all over the place, even in the system here. If they are well encouraged, they carry the system on. But then you bring somebody, you didn't test their competence in this area. You now say, oh, yesterday I was discussing with my nephew. He's an engineer. He works. See, they have about 100 and something million contract. He's the arrowhead. He said, the other engineers left everything. They don't know what to do. They don't even know what to do. He says he almost killed himself because he wants to succeed. These people, did they not go to the university? They will be parading. They have an engineer, this one engineer, name. Diploma disease, they call it. Everybody is running for degree. You now sideline the politics. Those are the people who carry the system on. No, everybody now. If you read...
Some people are even of the opinion that perhaps we have to scrap university education. Let's leave it there at the polytechnic education. I mean, for a country like Nigeria, a country that is developing, do you really think that we need university education?
Yes. University is like a research center. That's where people with creative ideas that will move the society. You see, one engineer is equivalent to about 10 technologists, and it goes down like that. So the engineer is a brain worker. It's like a dreamer. He will dream, and he will now go. The technologists will now bring them out. He will bring them out.
But in the case of Nigeria, we have the engineers, we have the technologists, but nothing to show for
there's
it.
There's no synergy now. There's no synergy. Who is the engineer himself? I'm not just making a blank statement. There are fantastic people there. The system does not encourage them. The Nigerian system does not encourage them. We just believe that. It's like your child is looking for admission. When you are, the Benima will say, just put the child there. You will not even know the strength of the child. Just let him enter the university. He gets there and he's frustrated.
Or he must study a choice course.
Exactly.
It must be medicine.
That one is not... it's not even what you study. It's what you know. You can be a doctor, you don't know what is going on. You just collect money, you make money. You build hospital and all that one. And be killing people. The same thing goes with other things. I was saying, I even said it on one. I said, assuming now I have a child that I've been bribing through school, is an engineer, and I have a multi-billion naira project to run. You think I will carry my child and say, come and supervise this project? I will not. Except you are an unscrupulous person.
Yeah, because he doesn't have the
yes, yes. Yeah. He will ruin it.
He has to learn from the
exactly.
Background. Yeah.
And that's the purpose of taking them through the university system. Learn the basic. Now, the basics are not even there at all. In those days, people was when we are in the library reading as students, your head will almost be bringing out smoke. You want to know something. A situation where a student is just plugging his ear with phone, always on social media, all through. He has no time. I just read a book a few days ago. Once I picked up the book, I couldn't stop. I was reading it. 888 Days in Biafra, written by Engineer Omeni. He was an engineer with NBC, Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation. Yeah. If you see the how he wrote the book, he was in the team of the people they took to Ojukwu in the East.
In the East, the Biafra period.
Exactly. He wrote it very beautifully. He's no longer alive. I was asking after him in the church yesterday. They say it's late now. That's somebody. They did not even, they call him engineer, I don't know, but you saw the work that he did in that book.
All right, so as we draw the concluding segment of this program today, just like what we said, that Nigeria is on, trying to investigate how come somebody can actually, attain a university degree on that 2 months. We understand that the Federal Minister of Education and of course, the Federal Minister of Foreign Affairs is doing that investigation. But we do not know how the investigation is going to be, is going to look like, whether they are actually going to investigate that under 2 months. Whether the said journalist now, if he actually completed his course. Because just like what I said, that for me, I did a 4 years program. ASU strike and all that was about 5 years. Yes. And I know the rigor. The rigorous time we went through for us to do all that. So maybe the undercover journalist, maybe he completed his course outline, his course content now within the 2 months. Nobody knows. I think that's what the Federal Minister of Education is going to be looking at. But from our own point of view here, let us suggest now, where do you think the Federal Minister of Education, what do you think they are going to be looking at as they carry out the investigation?
First of all, if the certificate, they are going to look at the duration, the formal duration of the program.
Of the program that he went through.
That he went through.
Okay. Whether it can be obtained within 2 months.
Exactly.
And I doubt.
It's not possible. It's not possible. So they have to investigate that one. You see, the journalist, the undercover journalist, he has so much information that he has not, brought out. He must have been seeing these things. He's okay, let me just go and do some investigation myself. He now went and enrolled and got the degree. As you said, Nigeria is supposed to be a reference point. Except Kenya. They have a very good education system there. They have.
But Kenya has also been fingered in this.
Yes, there's no system that is foolproof.
Yes. So almost about 5 West African countries.
It's very peculiar here.
Yeah.
And they're paying humongous amount for investing around.
And school fees. There.
Yeah, school fees around this West African country. So it's something that it has to be stopped one way or the other.
All right. So they should see whether he completed his course content.
Well, which course content for a first degree that can be completed? See, when we hear crash program, they audit what you have done before. You must have either diploma or whatever it is.
Yes.
They subtract those ones.
Not a crash program for 4 years.
For in 2 months. Is it possible? It's very unrealistic. So the thing must be well investigated so that we can sanitize our system. As I said earlier, you will now find that these people, they get into 2 months, they do their NYC.
Yeah.
You can see Salisu Buhari, the speaker. Was it not Toronto?
Toronto University. Yeah, I remember
He was to the peak.
Yeah.
He went there.
Yeah. All right, so we are going to leave this discussion here today, bearing in mind that the investigation is still going on. So the last is yet said concerning the allegation. Now, that's until a final investigation is carried out so that the Federal Minister of Education and also the Federal Minister of Foreign Affairs can actually come up with what's happened. So it's more or less that the undercover journalists just only raised an alarm. So In no distance time, we're going to actually find out what happened. I want to say a very big thank you to Professor Victor Igbenedion for making it on the show today. So pray that when we call you next time, you oblige us of the time to be on the program.
Thank you for having me.
So all right, so that's the program today, Africa Discourse on Independent Television. My name is Evan Sunokoge. Thank you for watching. Good afternoon.
This is ITV.
Certainly the best.